Sean Andre.
Yes, sir. TW.
Welcome, my good man.
Thank you for having me here.
You are here, sir. Thank you so much. Welcome to Members Only.
It's an honor. It's a pleasure to be here. I've seen what you've done in the past and floored by what you've done.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Amazing work, brother.
Thank you.
Yes.
Amazing, talented voices like you. It's our motivation that keeps us going, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah, so how's the day been for you, my good man?
Day's been great.
Yeah.
It's a blessing to be up, to be alive, to be walking upright, and to be here with you and your amazing crew. The staff has been extremely nice to me, and I so appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah.
Let's pour some extra Añejo #1 tequila and have a conversation. So this is the Reposado.
Okay.
That's the Blanco, and that's the extra Añejo. You can have any one you want. This is my swag here, the extra Añejo.
And I noticed it's not just one; it's #1.
Number one.
Number one.
Number one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So allow me to pour some extra Añejo, my good man. Just a little something.
I might take this one here.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Alrighty.
All right.
Like the old folks say, you have to pour your own trouble, sir.
Right. I've heard that a time or two.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. All right.
Bet.
All right.
Salute.
Salute.
Health, wealth, and prosperity, my good man.
You as well.
So let's talk about Sean Andre, the voice of all voices. Your voice is very phenomenal.
Thank you.
Did you sound like this like a kid? Like you came out like 2 or 3 years old? Mother, I do not want no stereo. No, mother.
So what had happened was,
Okay.
when I was 14, school ended. We're out of school for the summer. And I went home, and I don't know what happened that summer, but my voice completely changed. So when I turned 15, I came back to school, and it was a deeper voice. And I noticed back then that the young girls at the time were reacting differently to the sound of my voice. I didn't know why. I wasn't really cognizant of it at the time, but my voice had gotten much deeper when I turned 15. So that was the beginnings, I guess, if you will. And from there, after graduation, decided to pursue communications and radio, and just kind of went on from there.
So after graduations, what was the time you can remember that it hit to you like, hey, radio is my thing. This is what I should pursue for sure.
It was really when I was a junior in college
Okay.
at UTA, University of Texas at Arlington. And this was shortly after Tom Joyner embarked on his syndicated radio journey. And so they brought in a guy from North Carolina by the name of Skip Murphy. So he came in 1993. I did an internship in 1994. I was a big fan of Skip's style. Very classy guy, but a very funny guy as well. But you couldn't see the funny coming necessarily. A low-key kind of funny guy. I was a big fan of his and decided to do an internship at K104 here in Dallas. And originally I was Sam Putney's intern. Sam Putney was the news guy from Skip Murphy and Company, and I was a big fan of Sam Putney as well. And I used to follow them to different remote locations and different interviews when they would pop up at the mall or, a car dealership or something like that, and they were passing out the K104 T-shirts and, the CDs and things of that nature. And had a conversation with Sam Putney, said, hey, I want to get into radio, preferably radio news. And he said, hey, I'm the news director, so come and meet me Monday morning. And I came and met him. He loved my voice. And I was a big fan of his voice as well. And it took off from there. And so doing the internship at K104 really kind of set my sights on doing radio full time forever. That was the beginning of it.
And you're born and raised Dallas?
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth.
Born and raised in Fort
Okay.
Worth. Yeah. Funky Town. Fort Party
That's what
Worth.
they call it, sir.
Yeah, it's got a little flavor on that, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, born and raised in Funky Town in Fort Worth. And I'm a big fan of my hometown.
Yeah.
It's got that southern charm, that southern feel. And I rep my hometown when I can.
I know
Love
that
me
is-
some Funky Town.
Yeah, good deal. Out of all of the success that you've acquired in your career, is there a station that you always want to work at? Is there a certain market?
There is. Now, I worked in Los Angeles for almost 10 years. I did the Quiet Storm out there as well as here. They have it's not necessarily a smooth jazz format anymore, but they have a format, 94.7 The Wave. And it's a smooth jazz format. But now they play a little bit of smooth jazz, R&B, a little bit of everything at that station. I always wanted to work at that station. Even when I worked in Los Angeles, I worked for like a rhythmic AC, a rhythmic adult contemporary station is what they call it. And that's what they call the format. And but I would always be listening to The Wave. Even though I would have my own station in LA, Preset, the station that I worked for, I was a big fan of The Wave and their style. So that's one of the stations. They had a station similar to that here in Dallas back in the day. It was 107.5 The Oasis. And smooth jazz format, very popular back in the day. And that's another station I wanted to work at as well. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
L.A., huh?
LA,
Gotta love it.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And all that comes with it. There's a lot. There's a
So-
lot that comes with LA.
Do you see yourself possibly going back to L.A.?
I do,
Yeah.
and that's something that's on my radar. That's something I think about quite often. It was that's really when my career took off.
Okay.
You know, I got the base and my foundation is here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and of course being at K104, Smooth R&B 105.7 for a lot of years as well. But my career really took off getting out to Los Angeles, market number 2.
Number 2.
And yeah, that's a big thing for radio and
Major.
television.
It's major.
It's you know, I met Rick Dees there.
Okay.
Big Boy there. I worked with Smokey Robinson. He actually did a radio show right before mine. George Lopez, Mario Lopez, Theo, all of these great entertainers and actors and personalities, and just being able to learn from them. And you know, you take a little bit from each person that you're fond of. You know, I'm fond of Skip Murphy. Took a little bit from him. Rudy V hosted the Quiet Storm on 105.7 back in the day. I took a little bit from him. And so, yes, I have my own style, but there are things that we see and that we like in other people.
That's
and
correct.
Just maybe we'll borrow it.
That's right.
Maybe I'll give it back to them.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you just kind of make it your own. But a lot of people I'm fond of in Los Angeles.
Where do we see radio at in the next 5 years? Because we recently interviewed Lynn Hayes, another amazing voice, like iconic.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and we talked about radio and where it's going, from where it was to where it's now, where it could possibly be. Where do you see radio going in the next 5 years?
Is it okay to take a sip of this while we?
Please, I'm going to join you,
'Cause
sir.
we might, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. 'Cause it's, yeah. Radio. Where is it going? That's a great question. It's really hard to say, TW, where radio is going at this point. We see a lot of the podcasts that are out there now.
That's the new move.
That's the new move. It really is. And that's great. And people are doing some great work with these podcasts. And I have nothing but love. And I always told myself I didn't want to be one of those old school radio guys and say, look, what are these new school people doing? You know, they don't know about radio. They're doing a podcast. Well, no, I love that. I welcome that. I enjoy the art form, and I think it's truly an art form. So it seems like radio is kind of going into that direction where you have individuals with so many different thoughts and feelings, and they want to convey these messages. And these messages should be conveyed, to be honest with you. And it's right now, it seems like it's taking the form of a podcast, which I think is great. I welcome that. Terrestrial radio, as we call it, that we grew up with, I really don't know. I can't tell you the future. We have a lot of syndicated shows now, so that takes away the so-called local radio personality. You still have some. You interviewed Lynn Hayes, who's a dear friend of mine, and she's still a local radio personality in Dallas-Fort Worth, which is market number 5.
Yep.
About to be market number 4. It's growing
Oh,
by
we're
leaps and
moving up
bounds.
to 4, huh?
We're moving up to 4, yeah, and that's been talked about for years. And now, with all the people that are coming here and all the energy that we have here, it's about to take that leap to 4. But I digress. I don't know. I don't know where radio is going. That is my honest answer. I do not know.
Being that you don't know, is it scary?
It is scary.
Yeah.
It's scary for those of us. I mean, we grew up on radio.
Yep.
This is what we were going to do
Yes, sir.
for the rest of our lives. And to have the unknown be kind of hanging out there, not really knowing what's going on, it's an uneasy and an uncomfortable feeling, not really knowing what's going to happen with it. I think it'll be around in some way, shape, or form, but you have so much competition out there.
There's tons of it these days.
In your car, you can listen to somebody's podcast. You
Yep.
can listen to Sirius XM.
Yep.
Of course, you still have the terrestrial radio stations. You can just listen to something on your playlist and not even listen to a radio station. And terrestrial radio competes with all of that. And now in your cars, you have better technology that's equipped to handle all of these different options. So it's hard to say what's going to happen to radio as we knew it.
Yes, sir. If terrestrial radio, let's say, disappears, how do you think that will affect the community?
That's an excellent question, and I think it definitely can have an adverse effect on the community because when we grew up, I see I'm older than you, but see when we grew up, that's what the community depended on. They depended on that voice from the local radio station in that particular community. All right, we're in Dallas, Fort Worth. Yeah, we have love for what's going on in Houston. We have love for what's going on in Austin and San Antonio, but we need to know what's going on here where we live. That's important to us. And that is somewhat being taken away from us now. You know, that's the thing with the syndicated radio show. It's hard to localize stuff. There are ways to try to localize, but you can't do it on a regular basis, and sometimes you can't be really real with it. So that part is unfortunate, the community aspect, because that affects people directly.
Directly.
Yeah.
And community is everything.
Everything,
And-
especially to our community.
Correct. In our community, we need that voice.
Absolutely.
And with terrestrial radio, that was something that was provided to the community for sure.
Yes.
So hopefully, it will still be there in time. I think they say life is like a circle, like it comes back around,
back around,
repeats
it's
itself.
cyclical, yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully, word on the streets is that you love food, sir.
I am somewhat of a foodie, TW.
Yeah,
So the word has gotten out?
it's getting out.
All right.
It's
So
really getting out.
all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Somebody saw me somewhere?
Yep. And they were surprised how much you could eat.
You know, a lot of people are surprised by that.
Yeah.
A brother can put away some food, man. I can. I can put away some food. You would never know it. I'm a runner, so I might run it off the next
Yep.
day, and then I'll just do it all over again. That's what happens.
What's one of your favorite spots out here to go eat?
Oh, I love Fogo de Show.
Come on, say it
I
loud.
love Fogo de Show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can. If I could sing, I would sing it, but I can't sing.
You can't sing?
No, I shouldn't have let that out there. I should have let that mystique try to, carry on. But people think I can sing. I can't sing, man. I can't sing worth a lick. No. But I love food.
Yeah. So, do you think we'll see you in more projects that have food in it? Maybe like food blogging shows?
I would hope so. I would
Yeah.
hope so. That's truly a passion of mine. I
Okay.
mean, all kidding aside, that's truly a passion of mine. And I love what goes into it. I mean, that's an art form. We know cooking is an art form.
Yes, it is.
And when you're talking about this ingredient goes with this ingredient and you mix that together, oh, by the way, there's this ingredient and we throw that in from the side. That's fascinating to me. I'm a huge fan of that. So, yes, I think you will see me in the future doing something related to food because I truly am a foodie.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word, I am.
One thing that I've been doing lately, outside of talking about the business and our grind and where we want to go at in life and all of these things that are happening, I think we should, check on each other. And when I say
Absolutely.
that, like, hey, brother, how are you mentally now? Because,
Right.
we cannot ignore what we've been through a year and a half ago. Like,
Right.
it's
right.
been real.
That's real.
And we've lost a lot.
Yeah.
We've gained some as well. It's definitely had an impact on our minds,
Right.
for the good or for the bad. So from one brother to another, my question is, how are you, sir? How are you really feeling?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. And that does mean a lot because it's talked about in general, just the mental health and the impact, as you just stated, with everything that we've been through the last, year and a half or so. And so I appreciate you asking. I'm good. I'm good. And I think that is important. As a matter of fact, I know it's important that we should check on each other.
We have to.
Hey, man, how are you doing? How are you holding up? Do you need to talk? Let's talk about it. What's on your mind? What are you going through? I can't be here to help solve all your problems, but hey, I'm a good listener. And that's what I also learned being on the radio for all of these years as well, just to listen. And sometimes not even give any feedback, just to simply listen.
There's an art to listening.
There's an art to listening.
It's an art to it, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is. It really, truly is, TW. But no, I think that's important. I think we should continue to reach out to one another and make sure that that person is okay.
Yeah.
And their family's okay and their friends are okay. Yeah, that's real, man.
Mr. Sean Andre, we thank you for everything that you have done for the game, for the radio industry, for media. You're like the Barry White of radio. That's dope. You're in your own lane, brother.
Thank you, man.
There are a lot of voices out here, but your voice is great, my good man.
Thank you, TW.
And
that means a lot.
I'm going to pour just a little bit more extra añejo, and I'm going to have a cheers to you. How about that, sir?
Oh, I would love that.
Yep. That's what I'm going to do, sir.
A little bit of this right here.
Yep, go ahead and pour a little bit of that, Captain. Yep. Just a little. Yep. Yeah, man. Cheers to you, my good man.
Cheers
the
to
best
you,
is
bro.
yet to come.